The San Francisco 49ers narrowly escaped what could have been a complete disaster this offseason, and honestly it's worth diving into exactly how close they came to a nightmare scenario. There was a lot of uncertainty and tension swirling around the team's financial moves, player contracts, and roster decisions. So many fans were worried, especially when it came to key figures like Brock Purdy and George Kittle. Questions were everywhere. Would the 49ers commit long-term to Brock Purdy, who had shown flashes of brilliance but still had skeptics? Would they find a way to keep George Kittle healthy and signed for the foreseeable future? And what about Fred Warner, arguably the heart and soul of the defense? A lot of analysts and fans were debating whether this was the right moment to lock Warner down. Even though he had 2 years left on his contract, paying him early would have made a lot of sense from a cap management perspective, easing the financial hits in the coming years. But on top of all those contract negotiations, there was the looming question about losing valuable players in free agency. Dre Greenlaw was a name that came up frequently. The 49ers reportedly fought hard to keep him competing with the Denver Broncos, but Greenlaw had his own reasons for moving on. He wanted to be the number one guy, the clear star, and with Fred Warner dominating as the best linebacker in the league, Greenlaw knew he wouldn't eclipse that spotlight in San Francisco. This created real tension going into the offseason. A mix of excitement for what could be and concern about what might fall apart. Then the contract Brock Purdy signed became a flashpoint. Some analysts pointed to it as the biggest red flag for the 49ers this season. Not because Purdy's play on the field was questionable. He proved last year that he could carry a team and make big plays even in imperfect circumstances. But because of the financial commitment the team made to him, there were doubts about whether the deal would hamstring the team's cap flexibility and limit future moves. Yet when you peel back the layers and dig into the full financial picture, it actually looks like a savvy move by the 49ers. Purdy's contract, when adjusted for the cap and compared to other deals around the league, isn't nearly as bad as some critics suggest. In fact, there's reason to believe that even Purdy's agent might have been disappointed with the terms. Usually an agent's enthusiasm and public messaging reflect their satisfaction with a contract. And in this case, the silence and low-key nature of the negotiations suggest that the deal wasn't what Purdy's camp hoped for. This tells us something important. The 49ers may have negotiated a very favorable contract that sets them up well in the long run. Purdy himself has shown remarkable growth, especially in his mobility and ability to extend plays with his legs, something that became a huge asset during the playoffs last season. That development adds another layer of value to his role on the team. Looking at the division, the NFC West continues to be one of the toughest in football, and it might even be the most difficult this year. The Seattle Seahawks look stronger in several positions outside of quarterback, and the Arizona Cardinals have improved their defense. The Los Angeles Rams also seem to be on the rise. All these teams have made moves to get better, making the competition fierce. The 49ers, meanwhile, have been more measured. While it might be premature to say they got better across the board, there's no doubt their defense improved in the areas that mattered most, particularly in stopping the run. That was a glaring weakness last season and a critical focus in the offseason. Veteran leadership remains, but the team has brought in the right pieces to shore up the defense in meaningful ways, which could make all the difference as the regular season unfolds. One big takeaway is how last year's injuries and roster shakeups affected the offense's rhythm. Christian McCaffrey struggled to stay healthy, Deebo Samuel never fully recovered, and Aiyuk tore his ACL. George Kittle also missed significant time. The offense looked nothing like what the team had planned to deploy throughout the season. Even Kittle himself expressed frustration with the instability around him. He reportedly spoke openly with coach Kyle Shanahan, who has an open door policy, admitting he didn't want to put his body on the line in such an unpredictable environment where teammates were dropping like flies. This honesty paints a picture of a team that felt very different from what was initially expected. The upcoming season carries hope that some of those challenges will be behind them. Both McCaffrey and Trent Williams, while aging, are expected to be healthier and more reliable. The wide receiver cores, including Ricky Pierce, George Kittle, and Jawan Jennings, is filled with talent and has shown potential both as receivers and blockers. Pierce in particular needs to keep improving his blocking skills, but overall the unit looks capable of carrying the load until Brandon Aiyuk returns. The team is still active in the wide receiver market, working to strengthen the group, but the core pieces are promising. On the coaching front, Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme continues to inspire confidence. Few coaches are better at crafting game plans and adjusting on the fly than Shanahan. His creativity and ability to maximize his players' strengths remain a cornerstone of the 49ers' approach. Despite some skepticism, there's a growing sense that Brock Purdy proved last year he can succeed. Even when the surrounding environment wasn't perfect, that resilience is invaluable. Purdy's improved mobility became a key weapon in the playoffs, especially against Detroit, where his ability to scramble kept plays alive and helped the team secure crucial victories. There were moments during the regular season when he may have relied too much on his legs, but looking back, those decisions often paid off. Defensively, the arrival of Robert Saleh as head coach has injected fresh energy. While his previous offense in New York struggled, his defenses were consistently strong. Saleh is known for getting the best out of his players, a trait highly valued by fans and analysts alike. It's that ability to elevate talent that many believe will make the biggest difference for the 49ers this season, especially when it comes to developing rookies and maximizing the existing roster's potential. Outside voices have weighed in as well. Some experts place Brock Purdy ahead of even Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson in terms of who is most likely to make the playoffs this year, largely because the AFC is considered tougher and the NFC presents a clearer path with the 49ers. Critics who have been quick to write off San Francisco might be underestimating just how strong this team could be, especially if the key players stay healthy. Overall, there's a lot of positivity around the 49ers as they gear up for the new season. The tension and uncertainty that loomed over the offseason seem to be giving way to cautious optimism. The blend of experienced stars, rising talent, and strategic coaching changes could make the 49ers a force to be reckoned with again very soon. The key will be keeping those stars on the field and allowing Shanahan's offense to fire on all cylinders while Saleh's defense tightens up the gaps that plagued the team last year. One of the most intriguing aspects heading into this season is how the 49ers will handle the chemistry and cohesion of their roster. Last year, injuries forced constant lineup changes, and the team rarely had the chance to build any real continuity on either side of the ball. That instability played a huge role in their uneven performance. This year, the hope is that with more stability, especially at key positions, the team will be able to find a rhythm that carries them deep into the playoffs. The offensive line is a critical area to watch. Trent Williams may be getting older, but his presence remains a cornerstone for protecting Purdy and creating running lanes. His health and consistency could directly impact how well the offense performs overall. The running game also hinges on Christian McCaffrey staying on the field and regaining the form that made him one of the league's most dynamic backs. When healthy, McCaffrey isn't just a runner, he's a versatile weapon who can stretch defenses with his receiving ability and agility out of the backfield. At wide receiver, the mix of established talents like George Kittle and emerging players like Ricky Pierce creates an interesting dynamic. The ability for these receivers to stay healthy and develop chemistry with Purdy will be essential. Ricky Pierce's growth in blocking is a positive sign, indicating the coaching staff is focused on developing a well-rounded skill set that benefits the entire offense. Meanwhile, Jawan Jennings continues to show flashes of big play ability, and as Brandon Aiyuk recovers, the receiving corps will look to expand its depth and versatility. On defense, Robert Saleh's impact is already generating buzz. His reputation for getting the most out of his players is well-deserved, and the 49ers' defense is shaping up to be a unit that can adapt and overcome. Saleh's focus on fundamentals and discipline could be just what this team needs to tighten up its run defense and limit big plays. The linebackers, anchored by Fred Warner, are expected to be a dominant force again, provided they remain healthy and motivated. Saleh's coaching style emphasizes energy and accountability, which could translate into a more aggressive and effective defense. Special teams, often overlooked, might also see improvements that help the 49ers win close games. Small changes in coverage and return units can swing momentum, and with a roster that has experienced ups and downs, any edge counts. The coaching staff has the challenge of balancing veteran leadership with youthful energy, ensuring that every unit on the field performs at its best. Looking beyond the X's and O's, the team's culture and mindset seem to be shifting in a positive direction. Last season's adversity could serve as a unifying experience that bonds players and coaches closer together. There's a growing belief within the organization that they have the pieces to compete at the highest level, but success will require focus, resilience, and a bit of luck with injuries. If the 49ers can maintain health and execute their game plan effectively, they have the talent and coaching to make a serious run. Fans should also keep an eye on how the team handles in-season adjustments. Kyle Shanahan has proven to be a creative play caller, but the real test is adapting to opponents week by week and making smart halftime changes. Similarly, Robert Saleh's ability to read offenses and tweak his defense will be crucial, especially in tight games. The mental toughness of this squad will be tested repeatedly, and how they respond under pressure could define their season. Ultimately, the path forward for the San Francisco 49ers is filled with both challenges and opportunities. While the offseason drama stirred doubts, the current outlook is one of cautious optimism. If the key players stay on the field, if the coaching staff can maximize their potential, and if the team continues to grow in chemistry and confidence, this could be a season where the 49ers not only compete but truly contend. The pressure is on, but the talent and leadership are there. It's going to be fascinating to watch how everything unfolds on the road ahead. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around Santa Clara as Brandon Aiyuk, one of the 49ers' most electric offensive weapons, reportedly unleashed a tirade that could send shockwaves through the organization. According to sources close to the player, Aiyuk feels deeply betrayed by the team during what he describes as a vulnerable period in his recovery. "They betrayed me while I was still recovering from surgery," he allegedly told someone close, sparking immediate speculation about his future in San Francisco. Though no official statement has been released by Aiyuk or the 49ers, the timing of this outburst couldn't be more intriguing. The wide receiver, who is entering a contract year and has been the subject of trade rumors for months, seems increasingly disillusioned with his role, or perhaps with the franchise as a whole. Whether it's about medical treatment, communication, or contract negotiations, no one knows for sure. But insiders suggest that Aiyuk feels left out of critical team decisions while he was sidelined, potentially hinting at broken trust behind closed doors. Could this be the beginning of the end for Aiyuk in a 49ers uniform? The possibility is gaining traction. With the NFL offseason heating up, trade rumors have already started to bubble. A player of Aiyuk's caliber won't stay on the market for long if he becomes available. And there are whispers that teams are quietly checking in with the Niners just in case. While some believe this could all be posturing for a better contract, others say the rift runs deeper. Is this a power play, a sign of a fractured locker room, or just a passionate player airing out frustrations? Whatever the case, the 49ers front office may be facing a PR storm and possibly a tough decision sooner than expected. Keep your eyes on the Bay Area. Something big might be brewing. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.